One time the guy who came to fix my refrigerator told me, if you don't know what to do, drink some water. It's actually surprisingly solid advice. I don't know what to comment. Sips. If looking for something in a low-light environment, try to use your peripheral vision. I read about it in an old World War II manual about aerial combat at night. It has something to do with how eyes work. It has helped me many times over the years. For finding stuff in a darkened room, or outside in a field at night, not aerial combat. Also a great trick if you're into astronomy and trying to find a faint star. Don't give excuses unless they ask for it. I.e., if you are late for work, just say that you are late. Not why you are late. Never volunteer more information than is needed to get through the situation. Sometimes you'll just make things worse by moving their focus to something they didn't even know about. I.e., sorry I'm late to the meeting, I was trying to help, coworker, finish up their presentation. Boss. What? Coworker, told me they submitted that last week. Now you're late and got your coworker in a jam. It's only embarrassing if you're embarrassed. The older I get, the more I understand this one. If you're not willing to look stupid, nothing good is ever gonna happen to you. Dr. Gregory House. Fail quickly, as in, if your plan may not succeed, better to find out next week than next year. Helped me quit a suffocating job and dig into my own business 10 out of 10. I've learned this after becoming a father. Not because I'm failing parenting but because I watch kids fail some more and then succeed. It's amazing how shamelessly and effortlessly they fail and keep going. 2 from elderly Southern relatives. 1. Something ain't nothin', taking 5 minutes to work out, clean, work on a big project, etc. is better than 0 minutes. We often think we've got to do 2 hours of rigorous work or it doesn't accomplish anything. 2. Time will pass either way. If you want to work to get better at something, accomplish a long-term goal, or change careers or credentials, don't look at the 2 to 5 years and think you'll be too old. If you're 24 and want to go to college, you'll be 28 in 4 years with or without a degree regardless of what you do in that time. On that second one, my grandpa said something best. My dad was talking about how he'd be 50 once he graduated if he went back to college. My grandpa responded, "How old will you be if you don't go?" Don't beat yourself up forever. Beat yourself up once then move on. Mr. Homer Simpson. I love this so I looked it up. You can't keep blaming yourself. Just blame yourself once, and move on. Homer Simpson. When writing an email, leave the recipient field until last. And add the attachments first. If you need to remember something, write it 3x or say it out loud 3x. Always weird when you repeat something verbally 3x, especially names. Similarly, if you want to make sure others remember something, tell them 3 times. Tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them what you told them. If you can't fight the fear, do it scared. Got me through a lot of anxiety. I tell myself my increased heart rate and racing thoughts are just signs that my body is priming itself to allow me to do something I didn't know I could do. I used to think they were signs to quit, but they're really an ignition sequence. People don't always remember what you say but how you make them feel. Here in Brazil once I read something like this. Your neighbors won't remember that you said, "Good morning," but try to say, "Fuck you," and they'll remember it for the rest of the day. If you want to buy something, wait 24 hours and if you still want to buy it afterwards then buy it. This has really cut my impulse buying down and has made saving money extremely easy. Personally, I calculate the item based on hours needed to work and try to visualize if me working those hours for it is worth it. Edit. I just want to mention I have OCD, so the waiting 24 hours thing did not work for me. Sometimes you have to find the method that works for you. My mother always said, "Go back to basics," whenever I was struggling mentally. I disregarded it for years but now I live by it. I only utilize this way of living during desperate, survival times, but it's amazing advice. Can you give an example? No one thinks about you as much as you do. Meaning we're all worried about people thinking about the tiniest embarrassing things we do, when no one really cares. It gave me freedom to take on more challenges and not worry about failure. But what if you know people who look at others all the time sad face? When walking among other people, there's a trick to avoid the annoying little, who's gonna pass on what side, dance, where both of you go left, then both go right and then you finally pass. Pick a direction and aim your face towards your intended direction, like look to the left or right of them, clearly turning your head in a single direction. This is a clear signal to people so there's no confusion as to which way you want to pass them. I haven't had that annoying dance since. But then I can't say thank you for the dance and get a chuckle. This is one I came up with to explain my self-esteem. You can't sad your ugly away. I woke up one day after years of torment, a lot of which from myself, and realized that being upset about how I look won't make me any prettier, so I may as well just own my looks. I can fix what I can, but being upset about it ain't gonna do shit, may as well love my fugly self. Loving myself when I felt no one else would, and being happy and enjoying life despite it all, it really is the greatest revenge I could come up with. My therapist told me, would you befriend someone that would talk to you the way you talk to yourself? Be your O*WN friend first and things will be kinder. Thank you for your quote, very poignant. Do jazz hands in front of wasps and they'll fly away. You'll look like an idiot, but it's working. Edit. English is not my first language, so don't be rude. Don't wave your hands like a maniac, I'm talking about calm jazz hands. I learned that they'll focus on your fingertips and get confused, so they'll leave you alone. Don't kick a hive and try it, it's working for a small amount of wasps. Also I'm from Europe, so I don't know for big-ass murder wasps from other countries. And no, it's not working for mosquitoes. You just want to see me make a fool of myself while I get stung. I tell my daughter to add the word, yet, after anything about lacking something. I don't know how to play this game. Becomes, I don't know how to play this game yet. That sort of thing. It's meant to redirect negative self-admonishment into a drive to grow and learn. And apparently it's sinking in, because she will say something like, I can't make it up this hill, while we're out bike riding, and then catch me looking at her, give a big eye roll and go, yet. In the exact tone you think a teenage girl would use. Then she ends up sometimes just rage succeeding to prove the point, it's great. She's going to be at least 3 times better than me, low as that bar may be. Read this to my fiancé. He said, surely that works the other way around too. I've never broken a bone in my life. Yet. I've never murdered anyone, yet. XD. Jokes aside, I think this is wonderful and powerful. I plan on trying it out with our own daughter, smiley face. Rinse your cereal bowl straight away. That stuff sets like concrete. But, I was just about to eat the cereal. Stressed, upset, panic attack, ennui? Put an ice cube in your hand. Move it around your hand until it slowly melts. It takes about 5 minutes. Primary effect. The cold on your skin grabs your brain's attention. You stop thinking about what was stressing you out and feel present in the moment. Secondary effect. The cold cools your blood, which goes into your heart and slows down the beating. As your heartbeat slows to maintain your body heat, your lungs breathe more slowly as well. It forces you to breathe, which calms you down. After 5 minutes of this, you will feel much calmer, if slightly drippy. Adding to this, a colleague told me about. A bottle of bubbles. Blowing the bubbles, in theory, will help you regulate your breathing, and then you can focus on the colors, shapes of the bubbles. My wife changed my world a while back when dealing with a bad attitude from my son. She simply asked, what do you think is going to come from this? I apply that to most things I do now. I had a good boss once tell me to think about what I wanted the result to be in any conversation. It helps keep things calm if you know your desired result is not pissing someone off. There was a guy the first met at a family-friendly pub once. He was busking and he had a straw sun hat, and mismatched socks. He chatted to my family and came to learn I was deaf and wrote me a letter that says, sometimes it's better to be deaf, because the world isn't listening. And for some reason that's always stuck with me. What a wonderful quote. Put a small stool under your feet when pooping, to mimic the natural squatting position. Changed my life, literally. During the first week after my discovery, I had a strong urge to tell all my family and friends about it, but had to restrain myself because of how weird that would sound. So instead I'm sharing this advice with you. You buy a squatty potty just for this purpose. My dad did not control his urge to tell his family haha. To improve your posture, pretend that you are shooting lasers out of your nipples and trying to shoot people in the head. LMAO. When I was trying to train myself to get better confidence and stop looking at the ground whenever I walk, talk, etc., I would take walks and imagine that there are headlights coming out of my tits, and I needed to shine the way. Get someone to warm to you by asking them for a small favor, not asking to do something for them, but asking them to do something for you. I have no idea why this works, but it does. It makes them feel needed and important, at least for you. You know, sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. Just literally 20 seconds of just embarrassing bravery. And I promise you, something great will come of it. Benjamin me, we bought a zoo. And he went on to Captain Burnley. How to unclog your nose. Close your mouth and pinch your nose so you can't breath. Shake your head up and down until you need to breath. Remove your hand from your nose and breath, through your nose, not your mouth. Been doing this for a while now and it's pretty effective. Nose wasn't clogged and tried this. Now I have been sneezing for the past 5 minutes. Counterintuitive maybe, but it helped my anxiety immensely. In general, no one cares about you, what you're doing, or gives you a second thought once you're out of their sight. It really helped me to stop being self-conscious all the time in public. Most people only realize this when they are really being looked at. Like me, when I had really bad acne, my world changed for the better because I had a better perspective on my anxiety. Sucking at something is the first step to being sorta good at something. Honestly, it's deflated the embarrassment of making mistakes when learning new things. It's okay to suck at something on your way to okayness. It's okay to not be good at your hobby. Holding your breath for a prolonged time is extremely effective at getting rid of a boner. Instructions **** are * clear. Do not, I repeat ***, do not * hold your breath until you die, or you may end up getting your boner back. You can't actually kill yourself by holding your breath. You can only hold your breath until you pass out. After you pass out, you automatically start breathing again. Unless you fall into a pool or have a bad landing when you pass out, you'll be fine. Even the people who love you can hold you back. It ain't being nasty, they just don't want to lose you or see you get hurt. They wanted the best for you without realizing their idea of what's best ain't necessarily that. Yes. You don't have to live up to others' expectations, especially if you didn't even know about them. What matters is you living up to your own.